to Think Big with Dan and Qasim, and our guest today is Omri. So, Omri, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do for a living.
Sure. So I live in Houston, Texas. I live here for about 19 years. And my greatest pride is my two kids, Eyal and Guy. Eyal is 13 and Guy will be 16. And what I'm doing for a living, I'm a managing partner in Texas Logistic and Fulfilment Services.
Awesome. So, do you mind sharing exactly what your company does?
So I tell you the story. 2019, December 2019, my friend Dimitri, he told me, look what happened in China. Look, it's in John Hopkins' website. The circles are growing and growing and growing. What's going on? It's let's trade mask, and we try to trade mask. We didn't succeed to trade any mask. February, my direct Navy SEAL commander, he bought for me $58,000 in mask, and we formed the company on March. We sold about $28 million. In November 2020, we've been awarded in $380 million contract for Department of Defense, part of $1.2 billion contract. And we prepare a factory, 550 employees, invested $12 million, machinery, whatever you can imagine, procedure, laboratories. And then they sent PO and they canceled the contract for all of us, not just for us. Now we're stuck with a factory, 550 employees, machinery. Anyway, we decided eventually, we had investors, there was a huge partner, and we converted the warehouse into 3PL Logistic. And the company was formed, Texas Logistic and Fulfillment Services, and I'm the business development. We have several positions in the company. And we recognized last year there's going to be a recession. So inventory will go up. Companies want to reduce costs. And apparently we have customers from Coca-Cola, Monster Energy, Walgreens, 500 Fortune companies. And we have 2 warehouses right now, and we are 95% full.
Cool. So how has the company adapted to the challenges and opportunities presented by the COVID, the pandemic?
So the pandemic did for us amazing, right? We sold close to $96 million in the last 3 years. I got cancer. I got a very aggressive lymphoma cancer. If you ask me 7 months ago when I was diagnosed, I would tell you that unfortunately, but now I say fortunately, thanks to the pandemic, it lightened my life. I just finished remission. I'm 56 days clean, and I think the pandemic was insane. We worked 22 hours, 7 days a week. It was crazy.
Oh,
and yeah,
people were free and you were busy a lot.
Insane. It was insane. It was just insane. And but there's up and down. It takes you emotionally to be very strong, and the way it works, it's insane. You know, it's like roller coaster. Why are 10 million? No, refund me 5. I don't. You scam me in 2. They give me this. Why you did it? Why did it? Insane all day long.
Cool. So how does the company prioritize the sustainability and environmental responsibilities? How does the company prioritize sustainability and environmental responsibility in its operations?
My partner Dimitri, so we divided. He working in the operation. We have Jad is the CEO. I'm business development, and Sean does sales. That's it. And we work so much all together in the medical, so we know each other flows, and we know how to cover each other. So imagine I was 7 months, 6 months for sure. I was pretty much out in the last 6 months because I just came back 3 weeks ago. I was in MD Anderson in the hospitalized 2 weeks here, 1 week here. Tomorrow I'm going for 6 hours to get some antibiotics. So it does 2 things. First of all, to trust your partner and to delegate work. Number 2 is create automated system that know how to operate itself. It took me years to understand the business work for me. I don't work for the business.
So when you were going through treatment, I feel like a lot of times, obviously it's not like 100%, but they say people who have like a positive mindset, like no doubts, it helps a lot. Like how much did that help you, being able to overcome everything, especially, running a business and, going through all that?
My mother joined me January 2nd. So right after like the day after I was hospitalized, she flew from Israel. She said, "Why you treat it like a flu?" I went to Mexico, I went to California, to New York, to Las Vegas, to Israel, now with pressure, with a special mask, with wheelchair. I don't care. I just keep going and going and going, and I didn't really care. And I give you a small example. I just got the carotid because the chemo stopped working and the cancer came back. So I did radiation, and after the radiation, I did biological treatment. And after the biological treatment, I got neurotoxic and crazy side effects. And the doctor told me, you cannot move. You need to be 2 hours away. And I just took a plane, went to my kids' bar mitzvah in the Kotel. Yeah, I show you. You see the amazing right blonde guy over there?
Yeah.
That's my kid.
Oh, wow, nice.
And I went to the Kotel. I barely walk. I shake. My blood pressure was about 50 by 28. I don't care. I just keep going and going. And then I was so happy to see him on this event and all the family. And I was bleeding and all these kind of horrible things. And then I went to 5 days. The next day, my friend from the Navy SEAL say, let's have I said, listen, I'm bleeding. I'm horrible right now. Come over to my mom's house. Let's have shawarma here. Let's eat something. Then all my Navy SEAL team came over. And I smiled. It was one of the best nights of the last definitely 2 years, 3 years. And when I came back, I told the nurse, these moments with my kids, this moment with my friends, worth than 50 chemo. And let's give you the answer.
Sure.
Indeed. So do you think this problem led to some bigger challenges with your business as well, or not? Like,
no, it's make you better. I think, I failed enough time in my life. I succeed probably more times in my life, but I also failed. And when you look at it, I think me and my partner, we have very similar life journey. So I think we build a sustainable operation that can pretty much work autopilot, and we build a very simple business, and it's matched pretty much my situation, that from craziness of 22 hours a day, now we have a business rental, you lease a pallet, you charge storage and stuff like that. We rent from $8,000, the business went from $8,000 revenue into $600,000 in 11 months. So now from $8,000 a month, we're in a pace of $7 million a year. And we reach probably 12 million in the next few months.
That's amazing. So in terms of your business partner, I think many people listening have trouble finding good business partners. Like, how did you guys meet, and how were you able to find someone that you knew that you could trust and help build this company with?
I built my success on many failures, and I give you example. I'm building now a fund we're building a fund for real estate right now because I think opportunities will come. And one of the investors asked me, "How can I do due diligence on you?" And apparently he knows the head of the Israeli Mossad. And the head of the Israeli Mossad is a friend of my ex-wife husband. So I told him, ask your brother, his brother, if he knows this guy, which is the husband of my ex-wife. And he said, wow, you have a balls. You have a balls to ask this. I say, this is the thing. If you call today to my ex-wife, to my ex-partner, I think that's the best due diligence. And I felt enough times in my life to pick the wrong partners. In personal relationship, that's the worst, by the way, and in business partnership. And I think the most quality that you need to look into it is having the same values as you have, and definitely loyalty, honesty, and someone you can steal horses in Texas, as we say in Israel, together.
100%.
great. So, by the way, I'm changing the topic a little bit. How do you gather the feedback from your customers, and how has customers' feedback influenced the product development?
So,
in fact, the business development.
this is a very simple business. We invested in a lot of startups. We have our own 2 startups, but I'm talking about the logistic because that's what the podcast is about. So we are in very good terms in a relationship with the customers. Because the size of the deal, we online communication, and we adjust the services per the customer request. So we are very flexible. So for example, if we have Amazon clients that want to pay per box or per cubic feet or per this, so we are we adjust it to their needs. So we are very flexible. And because we are not from the business, right? We are only do it for 1 year. We see things that are different than people that do it for 40 years because we're more open-minded. So to change software, to change technology, to change people, to create procedures.
No, that's cool. So we're a tech company, so we're always curious. You mentioned technology, like what technology are you using, daily that's helping your business?
So we're using WMS, which is warehouse management, warehouse management services, something like this. And we're using Oracle, but we're moving now to 3PL Central. But we have some proprietary software that we developed for the needs of the business.
So do you ever use AI when it comes to day-to-day business operations?
No, but again, now we're looking to grow the business. But as we grow, there are a lot of needs. For example, right now we installed a scanner that scans all the pallets. And later on, we're going to implement the AI into this to recognize if there are some leakage, some scratches, and some broken wrap.
That's cool. So in terms of your business, I mean, have you always been an entrepreneur? So like, yeah, like, failures in different business. Like, what kind of got you into, entrepreneurship in general?
You want to see?
Yeah.
You want me to work with you? I will work with you. You asked for it. I didn't offer. I show you. So at age 13, I invented this. So there was no Bluetooth, there was no Wi-Fi. So pretty much I create a golf. It's real. So I have a prototype at my parents' home. It was the best product in Business Week in 1997. I connected the wire into the computer through the pin of the serial port of the printer. So there's no paper, printer is closed, no ink. So you can play golf against the computer. That's what I did 13. It was the best product in Business Week in 1997, page 40.
Wow.
If you ask about this is the second thing that I did at 17. It's for new driver in Israel, because in Israel, the mother cannot drive with a new driver sign. And in the new driver cannot drive without a sign. So it's connected and it's shrink automatically.
Wow.
Then I had an age in the university, I invented this. This is the folder I sold to Office Depot that make the hole. So I show you how it looks. If you want to see,
Yeah.
I have many patents. I have hundreds of them. So this is, you see, so you put a paper and it makes the hole. That's called all-in-one. That's 2004. I sold to Office Depot. Then I had my own company for coffee. This Francesca. I invented the iced coffee, the Frappuccino, 27 years ago. Because there's a problem, you cannot freeze sugar. So I did a deal with Splenda, and we created liquid Splenda. Later on, I moved to the US, and you see I did a deal in $250 million. That's just me. So.
Wow.
Nice.
That's really cool.
What else? I did many. I have tons of inventions.
So in terms of that investment group, like what was that about? Oh, so you're an artist too.
Yeah.
So in terms of that investment group, like what were you investing in at that time from that article?
No, we build real estate in Galveston, Texas.
Okay, nice.
Okay. So, by the way, what do you think? What do you envision for the future of your company, and how do you plan to stay at the forefront of the industry? What do you envision the future for your company, and how do you plan to stay at the forefront of the industry? Because you are pretty much succeeded in your industry till now, and yeah.
So I tell you a few things that we're doing. One thing that 2019, when I came up with a name, our medical company called Texas Medical Technology. But again, we did be a public, a very large investor in this company. So we did a sum of exit, and so pretty much you own most of the shares. But we did a nice exit on this. But I can tell you, I was watching the founder in 2020 actually, and Ray Kroc he go to the Nixon, and he put his tie, And then the McDonald's brother calling him, and he said, do you know how I became the largest restaurant owner in the United States, actually in the world? McDonald's. It's the golden arch. It's the American dream. And then I came up, I say, wow, that's a good idea. I'm going to get a Texas Medical Center supply. And my rabbi, I called to get the blessing of my rabbi. And my rabbi told me, you will get a lawsuit. I got a paper like that from the Texas Medical Center, which is the largest in the world. But I made amazing, because we made amazing of Texas Medical Center, because the name is generic. It's like Texas Instruments. It's a couple. And then we called them and we said, listen, we give you the domain Texas Medical Center supply. We give you in Canada, Mexico, because you registered before, United States. In exchange, you let us use Texas Medical Technology. They didn't like it, but they let us use it. And then I understand the power of Texas. So Texas Logistic, every time you Google it, it's good for the SEO, it's good for the name, it's powerful. It's not as I'm just logistics, like Texas Logistic, like generic, the state, it's very powerful. And that's the one thing. The second thing, we're going to do now franchisee. There is no franchise for a warehouse. We just met today the guy, and we start working in about 9 months. We will be up and running, and we're going to franchise, because usually people franchise McDonald's, like in donuts and whatever. We're going to franchise warehouses in the United States. So that's the way to grow.
So in terms of
vision board. I have a vision board. I want 10 warehouses by the end of this year.
So if somebody wanted to work with you, how does it work? Do you have like a minimum quantity, or like how, if someone's like a smaller seller, like how does it work? Someone's going to use you.
So, we accept everybody, because, there was the guy that called us, hey, I have a client that wants to rent some space. Hey, I want a client of this. I want a client of that. And we say, okay, whatever. I just met this client. One of the laws also part. He just wrote me a check of $95,000.
Oh, wow.
He rents just for the beginning. Yeah. This is I just came back from there. So you never know how small people are, become huge. Because my grandfather always told me, you can get a flat tire, the best Mercedes, the best Rolls-Royce for one nail. So never underestimate even guys that want 4 pallets or 6 pallets. You never know. I'm telling you now, a real story. Just came from the warehouse.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think so many people have this mindset that they're turning down business, but I think the way that you think is 100% the correct way to go. It's like more people need to have this kind of mindset.
Look, I don't know you. You approach me in Facebook. I say, I have nothing to lose, right? Yeah, join. I don't know what you are. Again, I didn't Google, I didn't check. I'm joining, right?
Yeah.
In the worst case, I will meet 2 amazing people, Qasim and Dan. That's it.
Exactly. So I guess, like, what advice do you have for somebody that's starting out today as being an entrepreneur?
I think, everybody say persistent. Yeah, it's important. I don't know what the big, I read the thing that all Mark Zuckerberg and everybody else say, hey, persistent, and follow your dream, follow your passion. It's very nice. But there are these brilliant people like Elon Musk and Steve. So they're not like the common people. What I suggest for somebody is, first of all, see the world like a 5-year-old kid. Very simple. You understand the price is going to be, there is going to be a recession. You cannot ignore it. Simple. Increase the price. That is going to be more expensive. You don't need to finish Harvard to understand that, right? It's super simple. What happened when there is a recession? What people will need? People will buy more drink. People will do more e-commerce. People will need extra job. There will be. You need to understand the macroeconomy on the basic stuff. You don't need to now to overanalyze and whatever. People will go more to vacation, less to vacation. They will buy more food. Once we understand it, for example, on my business, the inventory will go up. People will buy more food. That's why I'm dealing with Monster, with Walmart on rice, because there's no recession there. People always eat. And by the way, we have a huge customer from Pakistan for rice. Once you understand that, now let's talk business. What I do, I don't have the money to open a business. So we lease a space. We got a tenant improvement from the landlord. So he cut us a check. We use this money and we build the business from this money. So people say, oh, I don't have the money. Money is a tool. You can bring investor, you can money is a tool. Money never is obstacle to open a business.
100%.
And always think out of the box how you can get some, as I told you about Texas, and have other techniques to do. Same thing out of the box, how you gain more customers. So, for example, the beginning, we need more customers. I don't know the market. I don't know 3PL. I don't know logistic. I never done it in my life. We find 5 platforms like Airbnb that connected tenants with warehouses. I registered the same day, and we got a lot of clients from them.
Yeah, that's
Amazing.
really, yeah, amazing, amazing. Well, Omri, thank you so much for your time. I really learned a
Thank you for your
lot.
time.
I learned a lot, and I'm rooting for you. And I'm hoping that, in a year we have the conversation again, and you'll be even more bigger, with your company. So I'm wishing you like the best of luck, and I'm
Thank you
rooting
so
for you.
much for your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Omri. All right,
Thanks.
bye.
Really nice to talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank